What up? I'm Ross. I want to talk to you today about a series I've been watching on YouTube. It's called Hard Earned. It's on a channel called Endeavor. And this series is about poor working class people, and it follows a number of different families. I today want to react to the story of a young man. His name is Doin. He lives in Chicago. And to give a little background, he's got two kids with his, I guess, the mother of his children or his baby mama or wife. I'm not sure if they're married or not, but and they're both struggling. So let's go ahead and get into this first part of the series here.
I've been working in different departments. Currently, I'm a wine and spirits specialist. I was at 825, I'm not at 825 anymore. I'm at 1050 right now. 1050 sounds like not 1050, still can't pay no bills.
So first, can we just acknowledge he said 1050 sounds like a lot? That's $21,000 a year. That it tells me that he's not hanging around with people that are in the middle class or in the upper middle class, obviously. And I guess I don't need to point that out. I just wanted to take a look at the fact that he thought 1050 an hour was a lot. Those were his words, not mine.
It's overwhelming sometimes because whenever I get my check, it's just not enough. And I can't get bent down because my family's looking at me, So if I sit here with a sad face, they're probably gonna do the exact same thing, It's all right. I don't need a pity party. We need to make this work.
And I love what he said there. I love how he said, we don't want a pity party. I don't want a pity party. I'm gonna hold my head up. I've got to make this work. So you can tell he's got some fight in him. You can tell that he's well spoken to me. Again, I think it's the element he's in. Obviously, the 1050, thinking 1050 an hour is a lot, speaks volumes about the type of environment that he's in. But let's move on to the next episode or the next part of this series.
These last couple of months has been really, really stressful. There's just a lot going on, and then, trying to be a good role model in my family right now. I just lost my grandmother, so just trying to be strong for everybody.
And that's why,
Again, I just want to commend him for being in such an awful position. Being poor is not easy, and having two kids looking at you for food and a woman depending on you. So the fact that he is still trying to be around his family too, he just lost his grandmother, he's still trying to be a role model. It speaks volumes about this guy's character, this kid's character. So I really am pulling for him, but here we get into some of the things that I kind of disagree with what he's doing with his life, his time. He makes $10.50 an hour now. I want to remember that. He makes $10.50 an hour at Walgreens.
and that's why I can go out to that court and be extra competitive because my
Now, I just want you to take note here. Look at here. These are new, fresh Jordans. Fresh Jordans. I don't know, them things probably what, at least $200 these days. And again, I'm not trying to get on the kid or nothing, but I like him. I'm pulling for him. But he got some fresh Jordans on. He making $21,000 a year, man. Like, we don't have money for Jordans.
place of peace has always been the
Crispy.
court.
They crispy. Jordans is crispy.
I would shoot
You
for
understand?
hours. I would shoot until my arms fall off. And after that, I can say, okay, let's deal with this.
Now, see, this is where I got a little bit of beef with old DJ here. DJ, we don't have time for basketball. We make $10.50 an hour at Walgreens. We got two kids and a woman depending on us. Like, there's no time for basketball. There's just no time. If you're not sleeping, you need to be working. He makes $21,000 a year in Chicago. I don't even know how they're eating right now. And he's got crispy Jordans playing basketball in a whole league. This is a whole rec league. This ain't just him playing a pickup game. The only way I could even fathom this is if it's like an hour a day to stay in shape, because I do think it is imperative that young men stay in shape, stay physically fit and active. So yes, 1 hour per day or so, that's all you need. 1 hour per day, 3 to 4 days a week to stay physically fit, right? But you don't have time to play in a whole basketball league. It doesn't fit. Man, you make $21,000 a year and you got two kids. Where's the time to play basketball?
Postman, come up and set the back screen. that wingman can.
High school was fun.
You know, and you can tell he's got some leadership skills. You can tell he's intelligent. Seems like he's got a good basketball IQ. And I know we're about to hear about it. Basketball's been his life, but bro, that's not paying the bills. Basketball's not paying the bills right now. And you got 2 kids. It's really, I find it questionable that you have time to play in a rec league. And I'm sure you probably paid to get into that league. I know you paid for them crispy Jordans. Well, I don't know, maybe they were a gift or something like that. But again, at $21,000 a year, you need to sell them Jordans. Are you serious?
It was probably the greatest part of my life as far as basketball. And then once I graduated, I went off to St. Mary's of Minnesota. I played there maybe about a semester. Didn't work out due to money. I would have loved to stay, but I had to come back home. That's why I was discovered by Iowa Wesleyan College. They was looking for a point guard.
Screen to my left, it's for you. Drop.
Look, fouling folks stuff.
Played there, and then I tore my labrum. I tore in 7 different spots. 2 days after surgery, they didn't know I was on the basketball team anymore. Scholarship was kind of like taken away.
To stay in school, DJ needed to take out.
And I'll just point out, unfortunately, I'm sure he was the man in high school. He was probably the man in high school, right? He was good at basketball. He went to college. You'll hear later, he's got 3 years of college under his belt. So, you know, he was on a good path until he got hurt. But right now, I think he's holding on to that pass a little bit, right? With the basketball league and doing it. And I know that's what he's known his whole life. That's what he played. But at the moment, dude, you got something more important to worry about than the basketball leagues. Like you have a whole family and you're making $10.50 an hour. So I'm questioning why you don't have 2 or 3 jobs at this point. Well, let's listen to the rest of it. But again, into the $10.50 an hour, at this point, I think is outrageous too. Why are you not working somewhere where you can make more? And I've got some ideas on that, but let's finish out this portion of the episode.
More student loans.
When I tore my shoulder, I really thought it was over. Like, just go in a hole, bury yourself. That's how low I felt. Even worse when they took my scholarship away. All the volunteering, all of that stuff, you know, to uplift the school, and to have that happen to me was just devastating. I came home, I rehab went well, then I started working for Walgreens.
Because he's falling behind on student loan payments, DJ is ineligible for additional financial aid, which he would need to finish his degree.
I just wanted to finish. I had 1 more year left.
If it ever
Got a year left.
But I owe my first school $13,000.
take another line. See, I'm late.
I'm not valuable without that sheet of paper. People working at McDonald's with no degree at all. And I know that I need it.
So I just want to take a little bit of issue with what he just said there. He said, obviously, he's got 3 years of college under the belt. So, you know, the guy was on the right path. He was doing the right thing. It seems like he's tried to do all the right things to get to where he could go. But, you are valuable without a degree, right? I know he was on the path and he had the 3 years of his belt, but he said there, I'm not valuable without that piece of paper. And that is false. That is false. And that may be part of the reason why he's working at Walgreens for $10.50 an hour. Now, I will say this, he can do other work that will pay him more and have more opportunities. My thinking is this, and I'm obviously a military veteran, so I'm always going to look to the military. This guy is young. He's healthy, he's useful. Clearly his labrum is healed because he out here playing in a rec league. Son, you ain't going to the military, right? You need to get and spend, I don't know how long it would take him, 30 days maybe, to study for the entrance test in the military, the ASVAB exam. I'm guessing that he has 3 years of college under his belt. He could score pretty well on the ASVAB exam. He can get a decent job in the military and go off for 4 or 5 years, work that job, get some experience under his belt, finish his degree at night. He's only got a year left, so I'm sure one of the schools and one of the campuses, wherever he's at, one of the bases, wherever he's at, will take his credits, consolidate, and he'd finish out that year, right? So he can, in 4 years, probably have, a college degree, a GI Bill left if he wants to get a master's degree in type trade like that, and he can also have a trade. And depending on where he scored in ASVAB, he could get a really good job. I mean, he might be able to go in there for IT or cybersecurity or something like that, right? So if you go for, let's take cybersecurity, for instance. You go to cybersecurity, in the military, you're going to get a security clearance. You're going to probably have to get some certificates. So you still have to study in the military, but you can imagine after 4 years, you'd have a security clearance, you'd have a certificate, you'd have 4 years of experience in cybersecurity in a government organization, and at night you can finish your degree. All of those things he could do in the military. Let's just say he's not a military guy. Okay, why are we not joining a trade union? Why are we not an electrician, a plumber, construction, roofing? Any number of those things, being a mechanic, will pay you more than $10.50 an hour. This is why I'm struggling to understand why he's making $10.50 an hour at Walgreens. He's young, he's healthy, big kid. You can make more than that. You can make more than that doing blue collar work. So I'm not trying to come down on the kid. I think he's a good guy. I think he's doing the right thing. Obviously he's there with his kids. He's trying to be. I didn't show that piece of it, and I'll leave a link in the description if you want to watch the episode yourself. If you're getting any value out of this, please consider clicking the like. But he's doing the right thing, so I don't want to come down too hard on him. But this Walgreens job, it's got to go, right? The basketball, it's got to go, right? You don't have time for any of that. You don't have time. He's got to make some drastic changes. And I'm pulling for him. I think he's got fight in him. I just think he's fighting for the wrong thing. He doesn't have right direction. He needs to be disconnected from Walgreens and the whole struggle. He needs to be finding another struggle with more money immediately. So at any rate, get in the comments. Tell me what you think about him. Am I being too harsh on the guy or what? I'm pulling for him. I want him to win. I just think the path he's going on now, his kids are going to be doomed to poverty as well if he doesn't change something. If you found value out of this video, please consider clicking the like button. If you've seen more than one of my videos, consider subscribing. Once again, I'm Ross. Peace.